In this video, we will quickly understand what's the difference between the Russian S500 and S400 missile defense system. And then we will also understand why it took Russia so much of time to produce the S500 system. And in the end, I'll tell you a little bit about Russia-China ties, which is often very confusing. It is not what it looks. So we'll try to understand what are the options both the countries have against each other. As you can see, the number S500 is the successor of the S400 missile defense system. To be more precise, instead of the word successor, you can say that the S500 system is an evolved version of the S400 system. I already have a video in which I have explained how the S400 system works. If you have watched that video, you would know that there are basically four components of the Russian advanced military hardware. At first, there is a long-range surveillance radar, then there is a command vehicle, after that there is an engagement radar, and finally you have the launch vehicle itself. Now in this new S500 system, everything is the same, except there are few upgrades. You will find those upgrades in the launch vehicle. Then there are some upgrades in the radar, and then there are some necessary software updates. That is how we say that the S500 system is an evolved version of the S400 system. Similarly, even the S400 system was the successor of the S300 system, which was developed in the late 1970s during the Soviet era. So like this it went on. There is a call sign for the S500 system. It is called Prometheus, named after a Greek god. So the basic difference between both the S400 and S500 system is that, while they are both surface-to-air missile systems, S400 system is designed to detect slower and lower flying targets that are mostly within the Earth's atmosphere. In other words, endo-atmospheric targets like drones, helicopters, planes, fighter aircraft, cruise missiles, and smaller ballistic missiles which have shorter range and velocity. On the other hand, the S500 system is designed to detect and destroy targets that are outside the Earth's atmosphere. In other words, exo-atmospheric targets like long-range ICBMs, then hypersonic missiles and glide vehicles, then satellites, and even stealth aircraft like F-22 and F-35. That means here the S500 system's radar has a much longer as well as higher range. The International Space Station is located at an altitude of around 400 kilometers. A long-range ballistic missile goes even higher than the ISS. That means even the ISS can be detected by the S400 and S500 system. In 2018, Russia conducted the world's longest surface-to-air missile test using the S500, striking a target nearly 482 kilometers away. The S500 can launch several types of interceptors, basically 4 different types of missiles. These include the 40N6M, which is an upgraded version of the 40N6E, which is used in the S400 system. S500 system uses the 40N6M missiles, which has a range of about 400 kilometers that can be used against aircraft and cruise missiles. The S500 system is also equipped with the new 77N6 and 77N6N1 missiles that are meant to counter ballistic missiles, warheads, and satellites. These two missiles have a maximum flight speed of 3,600 meters per second, which can intercept ballistic missiles at an altitude of 200 to 350 kilometers. The N1 type has a higher maximum combat altitude and is mainly used against low-orbit satellites, which include ICBMs and hypersonic targets or any other aerial object that flies over the speed of Mach 5. So these two are new types of missiles that are used in the S500 defense system. Both of these can be fitted with a warhead to destroy incoming nuclear missiles. The S500 system can also simultaneously track and target up to 10 missiles, each flying at a speed of over 5,700 km per hour. The Russian defense industry has also claimed that the S500 system will also be able to fire the 53T6M missile, which is a naval hypersonic interceptor that can reach a top speed of 14,400 km per hour, or Mach 14. So here is the side-by-side overview of missiles that are used by the S400 and S500 defense systems. The S500 is also capable of launching missiles that are currently used by the S400 system. The command and radar system of the S500 air defense system is also more complex. It is equipped with 96L6 radar, which is an all-altitude surveillance radar. Then it also has 91N6AM long-range surveillance radar, and then 76T6 engagement radar. Here is the side-by-side overview of radars that are used by the S400 and S500 defense systems. The S500 system's radar is more advanced compared to the S400. And by the way, the S500 system is also equipped with the new active phased array radar system that can detect ballistic missiles at a distance of 2000 kilometers. A phased array radar system is a type of antenna which is computer controlled, and this antenna emits a beam of radio waves, and the radio waves can be moved in any direction without moving the antennas. If you look at the Duga-1 radar, even that is an array radar, and it was one of the most powerful military radar built during the Soviet era. It acted as a missile defense early warning radar network. But the S500 system has a much more compact and computer-controlled version. You can see the similar working principle of an array radar in civilian applications like medical ultrasound imaging scanners, oil and gas prospecting, and military sonar systems. Now if you see, the first batch of S400 came in 2007. Russia began developing the S500 system in 2010. Then why is it that the first batch of S500 came out in 2021? That means it clearly looks like Russians must have purposely delayed the S500 induction so that the production lines are available for the S400 exports. At present, countries such as China, India and Turkey have introduced S400 air defense system in their forces, and they are also showing interest in purchasing the S500 system. See, basically missile defense systems are intended to protect a country against incoming missiles like ICBMs, cruise missiles, or any other type of guided missiles. The United States, Russia, India, France, Israel, Italy, United Kingdom and China have all developed missile defense systems. But if you look at countries like China and India, while they do have their own missile defense system, but they have still invested in a Russian S400 system. So why is it that? And the answer is very simple. Russian military hardware, their research and development are very superior. Plus Russia has its own political interests. And at the same time, Russia also needs money. If you look at Russia's economy, it is not that strong. Russia is more than twice as large as the United States. And the population is also very educated. But if you see the Russian GDP, it is not even in top 10. Russia makes most of its money by selling oil and gas and then military arms and weapons. While Russia also needs money to run its economy, but they have also developed rapidly in science and technology. If the purpose of China is to buy Russian weapons to protect itself against the United States and also India, similarly, India buys Russian weapons to protect itself against China and its notorious stepchild. Plus, if you look at it from the point of view of Russia, if both India and China, the two biggest economies in the whole of Asia, if they both are clients of Russia, who do you think Russia finds more reliable and trustworthy? Obviously, it is not China. If you look at China's Shenyang J-11 fighter aircraft, it is a Chinese copy of the Russian Sukhoi 27. Of course, China had the license, but they changed the name and copied it as it is. Even India has the Sukhoi 30 MKI. Even India bought the entire unit's license and locally produced it. But then if you see, India did not change the name. It is still Sukhoi 30 MKI. It's just that I stand for Indiski, meaning India. Russia has been China's biggest arms supplier between 2014 and 2018. China has been reverse engineering, or if I can say, copying everything from aircraft engines, Sukhoi planes, deck jets, air defense systems, portable air defense missiles, and analogues of the Pantsir medium-range surface-to-air systems. Russia sold 6 of its S-400 anti-craft systems and 24 of its Su-35 fighter jets to China in 2015 for $5 billion. You will notice China never buys anything in bulk. It just takes a few samples and tries to copy or reverse engineer it. This is actually called theft of technology. Even the Russians have accused China of this. Of course, even to reverse engineer you need intelligence. So we'll give credit to China for that. So there's not really anything more than that. That is why Russia also suspended the S-400 delivery to China. Plus, I personally think Russia will not give the S-500 to China, even if China puts a request. It is simply because of China's nature. You can't expect honesty and ethics from China. That means if Russia gives S-500 to China, they very well know that the Chinese will copy that as well. So if you see, both China and India have expressed interest in buying the S-500 system from Russia. And you may also hear Russia saying that we consider China, India or any other country as prospective buyers. But deep inside, even the Russians knows who to trust. And that is definitely not China. In today's world, competing against your own technology, and that too in the lucrative arms trade, is never a good thing. Chinese copies will make the technology easily available, and that will be a disaster tomorrow. So you see, Russia and China are not exactly allies. They may have similar interests, or you can say they are helpless and share their hatred for the United States, but they are not natural allies. This means if today Russia sells any military hardware to China, Russia thinks that it knows how to control China. One of the options that Russia has is to cut oil supplies, coal supplies, and other minerals to China, so that China behaves how Russia wants. Similarly, Russia's economy depends on the sale of oil and gas, military hardware, and minerals. If China also decides to play the same game, or who knows, they are playing it, and at the same time China tries to copy Russian military hardware, do you think Russia would like to be in that position and get dominated by China? So Russia has to think in advance and then make decisions. That is how I believe Russia will not share its cutting-edge technology with China, because today's closeness will become tomorrow's geostrategic challenge. And if you see, it is also important for India how Russia plans its move with China, because Russia and China has one same objective, and that is to challenge American hegemony. And then Russia has great relations with India. India and China has grudges against each other, and then India also maintains good relations with America. So these two are against US and US is against them. In between, India has good relations with US and Russia, and it also does business with China. So one country doing so much of diplomacy is a true sign of sovereign nation. Because if you're not a sovereign nation, you will not be able to maintain relations with all the big five countries. A non-sovereign nation usually gets thrown around and is forced to take sides. I hope you find this video informative. Thank you for watching it.